Would you look at that? It's time to unbox some more stuff. Damn it, I forgot my knife. Oh, no, I didn't. Here it is. ADD. All right, guys, so we've got 3 boxes to open up here. 2 of them are large again, so we're doing this outside. One of them is small, and this is actually something that I'm really excited about. This is from my friends over at Sweetwater, and this is actually for a video idea and giveaway. Somebody will be winning what is in this box, except for the candy. That's mine. So item number 1 is the MXR M77 Custom Badass Modified Overdrive. This is one of my absolute favorite overdrive pedals, and the box is not sealed, so we'll go ahead, we'll break this bad boy out. This one actually looks different than mine. Interesting. This was definitely used for a demo or something because it's already out of the bag and everything, but yeah, MXR M77 Custom Badass Modified Overdrive. One of my favorite overdrives, thanks to my fine friends over at Sweetwater, especially Josh. He's super fine. Look at that mustache. And of course, the candy. Oh, I keep forgetting to tell them that Smarties are my candy of choice. I need some of those. That's how I do my videos. I crush them up and snort them. All right, so I'm pretty sure that these 2 items here are both items that I've owned and done videos on in the past, but really liked them. But I sold them to move them on in order to fund other stuff. But it just so happens that I got great deals on both of them through Guitar Center, so I went ahead and bought them again. That's the one great thing about Guitar Center is you can definitely get some deals. And I believe the person who packed this one is in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in and mentioned that he had actually 20-foot speaker cable. Thank you, sir. And we got a foot switch. Nice. I didn't know that that was included, but that's awesome. He mentioned that he packed this thing up super well, so I was excited to hear that because, as we know, with Guitar Center, it's definitely not always the case. All right, I don't even know where to start pulling this thing apart. Boom. You see the first half. You know what it is. There we go. It's a beautiful day for unboxing here in Erie, PA. And there it is, the Mesa Boogie Stiletto Ace. This is the 50-watt version of this amp, which is actually my favorite version of this amp because this is one of the few amps where I really feel like you got to get the power section involved in order to get the best tones out of it. So being a 50-watt amp, it makes that easier. We got the power cable packed inside. All the tubes look to be in place, and this thing is actually really clean. Just needs a little bit of a wipe down, and it's super clean. So yeah, got a great deal on this. Probably gonna be keeping this one for myself because I actually do like the stiletto, especially once we get that Legendary Tones hot mod involved and once we get a PDEQ in the loop of this thing. So there's item number 2. So item number 3, really excited about this one. I got a really good deal on it, but look at this pack job. The wheels coming out the bottom, no packing material in the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and see if this thing arrived intact because the box is basically in tatters and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of packing material in it. All right, so I believe that a chunk of one of the casters just fell out. Yep, that's 100% what that is. Chunk of the casters, not a good sign. Let's hope for the best though. All right, so we definitely got a knock here. I mean, look at this. There's literally no packing material in the back of this box. So let's hope that the cab didn't split in shipping. I've had that happen more than a few times. Yeah, this caster, 2 of the 4 casters absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. It's broken into multiple pieces here, if you can see that. So that's fun. They did a number on the bottom. Let's hope that the top or the rest of the cab is in good shape. We'll see about the rest, but I did a video on this cab, the first one that I owned. Really loved it, but ended up just selling it to make room for more stuff. And I liked it enough to buy another one. This is the Black Star oversized S1 cab. This should have vintage 30s in it. Actually gotta go grab my drill. We'll take it apart, make sure it's got the right speakers in it. But everything appears to be intact. I knew it had some wear when I bought it. I could tell in the one single photo that was on Guitar Center's website, but you know, this is definitely a condition I'm willing to live with for the 360 bucks that I paid for the cab. So let's grab a drill. Let's get in on this. Let's hope that it has the right speakers in it. All right, guys, moment of truth. Is this the cab that I paid for? And no, there are different speakers in here. Let's see what they are. Definitely don't look to be the stock vintage 30s. Hopefully they're not junk. I really don't want to have to return this cab, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to get the camera in here. What are they? Can we tell? Oh, they look to be unlabeled maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do this without you guys, sorry. These are interesting. They actually look to be vintage G1280 speakers, so they're actually a good Celestion speaker. So we might have kind of made out in an odd way. Not like, you know, kissing, although it would turn me down, right? So these are definitely 8 ohm Rolla G1280s. Very cool. I've actually already got a set of these in an old JCM 800 cab, but I'm never mad about getting some more vintage speakers in the fold. So they all four look to be Celestion G1280s. I'm not gonna lie, that's better than V30s because I've got more than enough vintage 30 speakers. I probably will swap in V30s into this cabinet just because I really like the way it sounds with V30s, and the G1280, you know, it's a thicker sounding speaker from my recollection. I haven't played one in quite a while, so yeah, these have the 1777 cones in them. Yeah, that's a bonus in my opinion. I'll take vintage, cool vintage speakers over a modern vintage 30 any day. Those would be cool to add to the collection. So yeah, not mad about it at all. Not even remotely. All right, let's button her back up, get it inside, get a little riff going on. All right, guys, so as you can see, we've got the amp and the cabinet set up. I have an SM57 on the G1280 speaker, and as of right now, we are just boosting this thing with a TS9, and I have a couple pedals in the gate, but they're actually not engaged other than the Lichtlerm key in the gate, which is a really, really good 4-cable method gate. That is why the amp is like totally silent right now. I currently have the amp set up on the tight gain channel, so this is generally not the channel that I go for on this amplifier, but right now, because I have a little secret, we've actually got one of these bad boys installed, the legendary Tones Hot Mod Evo in the amplifier. It's obviously not this one. I have a few, but I really just wanted to install this to utilize the bass bump that this puts into the middle of the preamp. It is also adding a little bit of gain, but we actually have the gain switch down on the unit that is installed inside the amplifier, and that's because this amp already has plenty of gain on its own. It definitely does not struggle to hit those high gain tones on either the tight drive or on the fluid lead. What is it? Fluid gain? Fluid drive. Tight gain and fluid drive. So it does not struggle to achieve a super saturated high gain tones, especially with a boost out front. But I did want that bass bump to kind of elevate the lows in this amp a little bit, because I think this amp is pretty notorious for not really having that great of a low end response. It's pretty weak, it's pretty anemic in the low end response, which was always my main complaint about it. And I gotta say, putting this amp through this cab, definitely not the right combination, because these speakers are very, very mid-forward, like way more mid-forward than I remember them being. I actually have these speakers in an old JCM 800 cab downstairs, but it's been a long time since I plugged into it. But these are like a really, really round mid-forward speaker. The highs are rolled off, the lows seem to be rolled off, and we're just not getting a ton of low-end response out of this. I did double check the wiring inside before I put the handle back on. Everything is wired correctly. I took a reading at the back of the jack. It measured around like 6 point something ohms, which is what 8 ohm speakers will generally measure. Could be a little up, could be a little down from that. But anyways, I mean, everything is in perfect working order. The amp is in perfect working order. This cab is just like mids for days. And if you guys know anything about the stiletto is also mids for days. So with that in mind, I actually went downstairs and grabbed a couple of my favorite pedals for really shaping the EQ of an amplifier and put them in the loop. We've got the Master Effects PM EQ pedal. This is the Puppet Master EQ pedal. This does a really good job at scooping out the right mid frequencies, at least in my opinion, for amps that are kind of like overly MIDI. And then we have the This Heavy Earth Titan. This is very similar to the Depth Finder or the PD EQ pedal, where it basically gives you a depth and a presence control for amps that don't already have them. And as you guys will see, kicking in both these pedals is just gonna take this amp into a different league in my personal opinion. But with that being said, let's hear it before we kick those in really quick. Again, I have a TS9 out in front. Yeah, I mean, to me, it sounds pretty boxy. I have no idea how well these speakers mic up because I've never mic'd one up before, so I'm not sure what you guys will be hearing on your end. But as you can see, with that hot mod installed, we only have the gain just above 9 o'clock here, and it's already extremely high gain with the boost. Here it is without the boost. One thing I noticed with the hot mod installed, it gets noisy pretty quick on the gain dial if you dial it up. But honestly, that doesn't sound bad at all. Let's go into that crunch channel real quick because I actually haven't tested this yet. I actually think that this is the best reason to own this amp in my personal opinion. The crunch channel on this amp, if you're trying to get classic like hot rodded Marshall tones that aren't super hot, late 70s, early 80s type thing, this thing will do that all day, and it actually sounds really good doing it in my opinion. So yeah, for the classic rock stuff, even with the gain up here at like 11 o'clock, it's already got plenty of gain on tap. I haven't really maxed this channel out before, I don't think though. That's straight in, and that's with the Badlander installed, so it actually is giving us quite a bit of gain. Here it is fully maxed. And much like a JCM 800 with the gain maxed out, it's kind of starting to get that kind of ugly compression going on where things start to muddy up. So let's dial it back here a little bit. Forgot to mention, we're on the bold setting on the power section, and we are actually in tube rectification because the tube rectification fattens this thing up just a little bit. Here it is in the diode rectification. Actually sounds pretty good to my ears, but it is just a little bit thinner, but I kind of actually want to leave it there. Let's kick on that TS9 again. I actually think that sounds really good, and we've got plenty of gain. We can actually even back that down a little bit. But as you can hear, it's pretty anemic in the bass frequencies. So what I'm gonna do, we've got the bass maxed and we've got the mids all the way down. It's insane. We're gonna kick in the This Heavy Earth Titan pedal, and we're gonna push up that resonance significantly. But But yeah, we do have a significantly bigger low end with that pedal engaged, but we're also gonna kick in the PM EQ, and this is gonna kick up the lows a little bit as well, and it's also gonna scoop the mids just a tad. To me, that sounds significantly better. We could actually even bump up the low end even more if we wanted to by pushing this dial up. And we've got a lot of gain still. I can back this down a little bit. I'm gonna kick in my 7-band EQ and just boost the level just a little bit. I've never heard a stiletto with this much low end, and also the gain is crazy. The crunch channel is where it's at, man. Let's back the gain down just a little bit more. That sounds really good. I actually would really love to hear the way that we have it set up right now on a M25 greenback loaded cab, because in my previous video with this amp, I put it through a greenback loaded cab and I really felt like it came alive. So that's actually really good sounding. So let's go ahead, let's kick off our boost, and there's that gain noise that I was talking about. Because we have that hot mod installed, it is just like insane gain on the fluid drive mode. Fluid drive? Yeah, it almost makes the amp unusable in this setting because there's just so much gain in that preamp with the hot mod installed. Yeah, it just, honestly, if you have the hot mod installed, you're not really gonna be able to use this channel because it's just, there's too much gain inherently within the preamp on this setting. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was really digging that crunch channel. Let's go back to that. We've still got our EQ pedals and stuff engaged. This is straight into the amp. All right, so let's try a Boss SD1. Gives us a little bit more of a aggressive mid profile. Now the EQ is engaged. It's crazy to me that the mids are all the way down on the amplifier and there's still that much mid content. Let's actually dial up the scoop a little bit on the PM EQ. Yep, that is where it's at. That's one of my favorite stiletto tones I've ever gotten, actually. I think that sounds really good, even with these speakers that I think are a total mismatch for this amp, for my personal opinion. But yeah, I dig it. Let's grab a drop C guitar. Okay, so honestly, for a Hatebreed style tone, really not that bad. It's actually probably not that far off of their TSL type sound, at least here in the room. Again, no idea what that mic's doing to the tone. Probably making it doo-doo butt mud because I've never mic'd one of these speakers before. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Now, obviously, we're adding hundreds of dollars worth of modifications and pedals in the hot mod to this amplifier. So, I mean, these things generally go for around 1,100 bucks used in really good condition. Do I think it's worth it when you have to add all this stuff on top of the amplifier? Not really, but if you already have that stuff laying around and you use it with different amps anyways, you can really get some sick tones out of the Stiletto. Would love to get this on a different speaker cab. Well, I can't scoop the mids anymore on the amp, but let's scoop it more on the pedal. That sounds like a 90s crappy hardcore tone. Just for reference, here it is with the pedals in the loop turned off. Yeah, it literally sounds like a completely different amp with those pedals in the loop. Now, obviously, I took some stuff to the extremes, but that just shows you how effective these pedals can be at shaping the EQ of an amp. So keep this stuff in mind if you're ever, trying to fix an amp that maybe you don't love the tone of. These are a great place to start. They're also both great companies, small builders, so support them. I've already done videos on the Mesa Stiletto, so that's why I'm doing some fun stuff modding it. The cab, we'll explore the cab, or at least the speakers at some point here in the future if you guys want me to. Let me know, but it was really cool, really nice surprise to get some vintage speakers in this cabinet. I would much rather have these than the same old V30s that I have in so many other cabs. So in my opinion, it turned out to be a great unboxing diarrhea. I promptly had to run into the house after unboxing these to get rid of it. With that being said, let me know what you guys thought about this video. What did you think about the tones? What did you think about my critique of the Stiletto? And let me know, most importantly, if you would like to see more videos like this. Thank you guys for watching and being here. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed, because we're gonna be doing more fun stuff like this in the very near future. If you would like to help the channel and actually contribute to videos like this, the unboxing diaries, make sure to head down below in the description of this video. Check out my Zounds and Sweetwater affiliate links if you guys are shopping for any new gear. Hit those links, it costs you nothing extra, and it actually really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing. Goodbye. You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.